We've talked on the YouTube channel about Pragmata, the newest game that's going to be coming out from Capcom, guys, in a couple of years from now. And this is the newest IP that Capcom has had in 4 years. And what I will say is we've talked, on the channel talking about how Pragmata is very intriguing. It's very, looks very different. It also has vibes of like Death Stranding and games of that nature, but it has so much mystery to it. Looks like it may very well have psychological elements to it as well. And what I'm really excited about, guys, is that this is a new IP from Capcom, and this is a developer that certainly does take chances with some of their IPs, and I think that this is going to be no different. And so what I want to talk about in this segment of the show is about everything that we know so far about Pragmata. We can break it down, and then we can have a real conversation about it. So let's get into it. So an article, guys, that was written by David Restrepo of Gaming Instincts, what we know about Pragmata. Now, Pragmata was one of the PlayStation 5 event's most mysterious titles. For a showcase largely centered around gameplay and real-time representative footage, Pragmata was one of the few outliers. Of the announced release dates, it's also far off with the 2022 release. So that's kind of the first thing, guys. It's pretty far off. However, there's a reason that they're kind of announcing this game right now when it's a couple of years away. I think they want to build this thing over the course of the next, year or so. Now, if it comes out maybe January 2022, they're going to be promoting the heck out of it, I would assume, all throughout 2021. But regardless of when it comes out, guys, I would have to say that this is going to be, this is going to be something big because they're already promoting it and it's a couple of years away. So it's something certainly to kind of think about. Pragmata is coming exclusively to PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X, and Steam sometime in 2022. Developed and published by Capcom, it runs on the company's proprietary RE engine with a focus on utilizing next-gen hardware's capabilities. It will use ray tracing, though the extent to which it'll be applied remains a mystery. Considering the trailer makes judicious use of reflections within the puddles of the windows of buildings, ray trace reflections are a safe bet. This would fall in line with the game's general aesthetic with reflective surfaces in abundance. Now, Capcom aims to establish this next-gen game as one of its core brands moving forward. So, Capcom released an extended cut of the Pragmata trailer after PlayStation 5 stream, running a minute longer than the original announcement trailer. The trailer's extended cut provides no new information. It showcases extra landscape shots. There's also an extended version of the protagonist's interaction with the young girl prior to being sucked through the moon's artificial atmospheric bubble. Now, Pragmata was one of the event's few games showcased in such a way that made it unclear whether it was real-time, pre-rendered, or in-engine. Nothing in the trailer indicated possible gameplay sequences, though. More games have adopted in-game cinematics in recent years. Now, one thing that I will say is that this is a game, obviously, going to be most likely a futuristic game here, guys, in a futuristic world where what kind of looked, to me at least, was that it was hard to tell, what's real, what isn't real, and that's why I think there's a lot of psychological elements here, because you look at the girl, she's able to survive on the moon without a spacesuit, but then this other guy has a spacesuit he's most likely going to be the main character. There's a lot of question marks here. Are they colonizing the moon? There's obviously it looked like there was some type of organism that was kind of almost like infecting the Earth, and then there was a satellite that comes through this like glass barrier trying to maybe give you the impression that the world actually isn't the world. It's just giving you this impression, and then it looks like maybe the guy in the spacesuit works on the, all of this different technology potentially. Maybe he's being forced to wear the suit. Maybe he works on satellites. It looks like he's got like gear kind of like within Death Stranding, and that's where it's like, a lot of comparisons were coming to Death Stranding. One thing I will say is Pragmata's trailer could have been pre-rendered, however. Two major imperfections make it difficult to stick by this assertion. The girl's hair wasn't impressive in the slightest. Looking at past RE engine titles such as Resident Evil 7, hair rendering was a sticky point. CG renders typically clean up these sorts of flaws. Additionally, pause the extended cut trailer at the 44-second mark. The Stardust billboard sports low-resolution artwork and text that would look bad even on current-gen hardware. So really, what I will say is this, guys. Obviously, this is kind of like one of our initial kind of thoughts, right? And in his thoughts in particular about some of the things within the trailer. Now, this is a very first early trailer, guys. It's a couple years away. This obviously is not going to be finalized. I thought that the graphics looked pretty good, but I mean, if you really think about it, guys, even Resident Evil Village that's going to be coming out, the graphics looked good, but they didn't look, you know, incredible. They don't look like Ghost of Tsushima or The Last of Us type of style. They have a certain style, that being Capcom with their titles. What's interesting is the trailer shows a man walking through an abandoned New York City-inspired environment decked out in semi-futuristic space gear. He shoots a canister which explodes mid-air, leaving behind a flurry of particles. The protagonist is able to use this newly covered radius to examine holographic images, with his visor leading him toward the trailer's only other human, the little girl. She's seen playing with the holographic cat, lending further evidence that its setting heavily involves some sort of time and spatial interaction, which is very true in my opinion. One thing that we don't know, though, is that is the guy in the suit, is it an actual human or is this an actual robot? That's a question that we need, that'll be kind of, I feel we'll find out at some point or another. Soon after me and the girl, a satellite comes crashing, exposing an artificially crafted atmosphere. They weren't in New York City. They were in an approximated recreation beneath the moon's surface. After breaking through the barrier, the protagonist and young girl stand in unison, staring at Earth as the man ends the trailer with these words, "Freedom, our freedom." There's not much else to glean from the trailer other than the assumption that the young girl may follow the protagonist through most of the game, whether it's a playable character or an NPC. And this is where I was kind of thinking, and we talked about this, guys, in a previous video. You guys can check out all the Pragmata content on the YouTube channel here, but what I will say is that the girl in the trailer, it seems like she most likely is going to be maybe a co-op character, or she's going to be kind of just another side character that is with you throughout the journey. Maybe she's going to be a playable character as far as from a co-op perspective, which would be really interesting. But I think what I will say is, guys, there's a ton of speculation as well as mystery around this title, and that's what I think is getting the buzz going around the community about this title. There's a ton of mystery here. Like it says, with 2 years until Pragmata's release, there's still a lot of mystery surrounding Capcom's new story-driven title. Whether it succeeds and grows into a core property as the company hopes or fails remains to be seen, obviously, with the game coming out in a couple of years. But a lot of mystery, guys. There's a ton of mystery here around this game. I think Capcom obviously is purposely doing that. Like I said, it reminds me a ton of Death Stranding. But this actually seems like one of those games that very well may have more mystery than even Death Stranding. There was a ton of theories, tons of, speculation around Death Stranding and what really Death Stranding was and what it is. And obviously a lot of those questions were answered, even though there's still mystery there. I think Pragmata could be something like, very intriguing to say the least. Like they've got a lot of, different planets, and maybe you're near a black hole. Maybe a lot of the theories that were in Death Stranding could also relate here to Pragmata. We got to wait and see as more information comes out. I'll be sure to keep you guys all up to speed as more information comes out, guys. But at the end of the day, what are your thoughts about Pragmata as far as the early, predictions, very early thoughts on this game and the early things that we know so far? There's a lot there's things that we know because we got a trailer, but there's a lot of things that we don't know yet, guys, which leaves a lot of mystery, which I think is a good thing. And Capcom is kind of keeping a tight lid on this project, it seems. But with that, let me know in the comment section below, what are you guys most excited about with Pragmata? Let me know, and for more Pragmata content and videos, stay here with Zero TV.